What's going on, guys? Hey, how are you? Repeat back with you, and it's another Saturday Night Showdown brought to you by Midwest Barbecue and Chicks and Honey over on Instagram. Definitely want to thank everybody for coming out, hanging out. We're definitely looking forward to chatting it up and you keeping me and the one and only KS Gaming, Swatsworth, whatever you want to call them, a company here from Bristol Motor Speedway as part of this ARCS series truck race live from Bristol Motor Speedway. Swats, man, fresh to Bristol. We're going to see a little bit of a transition from day into night. Qualifying is about to kick off. I know you said you're still kind of getting loaded in, but we're going to have quite a few people out here tonight. I believe it's actually going to be just about 20 to 22 people. Anybody that you're going to have your eyes set on, mainly?
What's going on, Pete? Yeah, here at Bristol tonight, slinging some mud, I guess, is what they're going to be doing. But I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on this one. There's been a few people that we've interviewed the last couple weeks that have been in the podium spots that are, saying, oh, I'm traditionally a dirt guy. This is my first oval win, or, this is my first oval podium. I'm traditionally just, I ride around the dirt. I ride a lot of modifieds. I run the super street or the street stocks in the dirt. And I don't know. It's going to be questionable on who could come out here. My thing is the survival, because even though you might have 3 or 4 guys who are, really good at dirt, you may have 20 guys who are not good at dirt and may be in the way or cause accidents or get loose and spin or go up and hit the wall, which could take out a really good driver. So I don't know. I want to say survival is probably going to be key tonight, and then those last laps maybe if the guys who are really good are still there, then we'll have a battle.
Yeah, this is still somewhat new to me. The guy that I just switched over to right now, the 61 of Joshua Gaiman, he was fastest in practice, just left pit road, and he's already got that truck way up on the wall. And I was talking to some of the guys about, basically making sure that I was up on the terminology, the cushions and all that. And man, I'm so looking forward to these things just being thrown sideways like we're seeing the 61 right now. I mean, this truck is all but sideways, but the front tires kind of steering into the slide, just like they say if you're in an accident. Look at him just whip it in there.
Yeah, I don't know if these trucks really work the same way as some of the other dirt models do. I've noticed even in the real NASCAR race today, during the truck race of what I was catching for the first and second stage, they weren't really slinging that car to the side like you do see, in the wings or things like that, the Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell run. You don't see that car completely sideways like you do over there. So I think it's kind of a balance in between that slide and also having the grip and being able to push the truck forward in that slide. But I don't know if you really want to be completely sideways on this thing.
Well, it's going to be interesting because there's got to be a fine line that you have to hit when you're throwing it in there like that. Because obviously, if you throw it in too far and you put too much wheel into it, chances are the backside's going to come completely around, and you're either going to block up the track, or you're going to go on down, smack the inside wall, or if you just happen to be lucky enough, maybe hit the entrance to pit road, but then you also run a chance of getting a black flag. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, there's definitely a fine line. That's what I was talking about with balance, is you want to get that car a little bit sideways, but you don't really want to get that wing or that end, almost completely sideways. It's once you start doing that, then you're really just spinning your wheels in one spot, essentially moving yourself around the track, as versus if you just get it a little bit sideways, but you can still cut through there and carry the momentum, you're not losing the speed like you would be if your car is completely sideways. These guys don't have that, super lightweight car that they're throwing around in those dirt series and the other models of being able to do that. This is a little bit heavier in a truck.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little bit. It's going to be this race is going to be amazing. So right now they're qualifying. The 85's trying to get this track down. You see them all the way up in the wall. So far, the fastest guy in town is going to be the 78 of Estes, the 12 of Pinnell, and the 48 of Wright. They are our top 3 out of the 20 that have taken time so far. The only guys that haven't gone out yet, Andrew Jamalin, Byron Jones, Thomas Andrews, and Dylan Mcdonald. And just as I say that, here comes the 65 of Jamalin leaving pit road, begging for some sponsorship on this Chevy Silverado. I think if he has a great showing tonight, sponsorship will soon to be following. So these guys are out here qualifying right now. Right after this, we're going to have a 25-lap heat race, and then we're going to have our main feature. So I definitely appreciate everybody so far that's come out. Please don't forget to say, don't be a stranger out there in chat. Say, hey, I promise I won't bite you. You won't get wrapped up in Swatt's beard. I can about promise you that. And let us know, who are you rooting for? Who is your driver? Who do you want to see win qualifying? Who do you want to see win the heat race? Who do you want to ultimately go ahead and grab that W? So we've been riding around with Andrew Jamalin, who right now has jumped up to 13th, and Dylan McDonald in this number 38. He's now hit the track, Swats.
Yeah, Pete, I know I was trying to go back through some of the podiums to figure out who exactly was telling us that. I'm pretty sure it was Cody Meadows and Joshua Gaiman both saying that they normally run dirt. They don't run a lot of oval. And Cody, obviously, with his 3 wins this season, if he's got dirt background, having 3 wins already, the field may be in trouble. But I'm seeing him right now being about midway through the pack during qualifying, and Gaiman's sitting about 7th. So Toby Estes seems to be really fast, though. He's about a half-tenth faster than the rest of the field. Yeah,
look at this this in-car view, the way that he is absolutely working, or as they say in just the oval world, how he's sawing on that wheel back and forth. Looks like his qualifying attempt is done. I believe the 5, he's been out here for quite a while trying to work in some extra laps. Might have been a little late to practice, so he's going to use a little extra time to get out there. So far now, 22 drivers have taken time. It's still going to be the 78 of Estes, 12 of Pinnell, and the 48 of Wright as your top 3. The only guys that have not gone out yet is the 29 Silverado for Byron Jones and Thomas Andrews in his number 24 Silverado. So all in all, we're going to have just about 24 guys out here getting ready to fire this off. Once qualifying is done, again, we'll have a 25-lap heat race. That's going to reset the field, irregardless of where they're qualifying, and then we're going to go full out racing.
Looks like you got Brad Rivers out there saying, "What's up, Pete and Swats? Have a great stream, guys. It's going to be a crazy race." I would absolutely agree. Then you got Dale Fan out there, which I believe is Byron's grandmother, rooting him on. And then you got Darrow K out there saying, "Go with the 61 hashtag not biased." So I'm pretty sure that's the driver.
Might be. And that is actually Joshua Gaiman, the guy that I said was pretty bad fast in practice. Really, really making use of the high line all the way around. Making use of that cushion, staying up there, and he was utilizing a whole lot of throttle time while steering that truck into the corner. So it'll be interesting to see how Joshua Gaiman is able to get it done. So I mentioned the top 3 are going to be Estes, Pinnell, and Wright. Behind them, we're going to have Harger, Catania, Garrison, Gaiman, Jeremy Youngs, Briault, and James Kerr. Swats from 11th on back, it's going to be Cody Meadows, Tom Sears, Andrew Jamalin, Dylan McDonald, Ryan Billy, Donald Ray, which you've mentioned him a couple of times, Kevin Feemster, Brian Torsha, Seth Wansing, Brian Rupert, Jacob Blankenship, and Terry Gabbard. Still the only guys that have not gone out to try to set a fast lap are Byron Jones and Thomas Andrews to make up this 24 truck field. King Mathers again out there saying you definitely don't want to hold it wide open down the straights. And, Swats, he is 100% right. The people that I saw try to do that were fishtailing all over the place. The track was just way too slick earlier.
Yeah, I think once it starts working in, then you won't have to use as much of a throttle or brake. Same as they did tonight in the Truck Series racing that race. I was listening to Kurt Busch and Michael Waltrip talking about some of the things that they do once the track starts to work in. You won't have to use that brake as much to really, sling the truck around. You'll really be able to just carry it through. But yeah, I'm looking at the roster for tonight, and I was kind of thinking, Joshua Gaiman, or it's hard. It's hard to pick some of these guys because Brial has been really on a tear the last couple weeks. Tom Sears has been right there. Cody Meadows has been winning a bunch. Gaiman's always in the top 5. Estes has been right there too and gotten taken out of a couple races. Catania's been there, but he's been wrecked. Dylan McDonald's been fast. He's got his win. There's so many. James Kerr, he's back in the field looking strong tonight in the middle of the field here for qualifying. Ryan Billy came out last week and was super fast and led a lot of laps. He led what? I don't remember how many he actually led last time. It was like 34 laps he led or something.
Yep.
Last week, and wound up bringing it home third, and I think that was like his second race of the season. So, there's so many. Donald Ray is another one I keep picking on because he just seems to be really fast every week, but either gets taken out by his own mistakes or somebody else's mistakes. So, there's just so many. I don't know who to pick from.
Well, this is completely different than anything that we've done so far this season. It could really be anybody's game. We've only been able to talk to a few people up in the booth during post-race interviews, and we've only asked about the following week. So we only talked to 3 people out of 20-something during last week's victory lane, or that's yours. My bad. Last week's podium interviews. There we go. So yeah, we'll have to see who.
Burnout lane.
Yeah, yours. Yeah, that's right. So we'll have to see. Who is going to be able to go out there and not only get it done in qualifying, but get it done in this 25 lap heat feature when qualifying is all said and done. So far, the admins have chosen not to push the rest of the session. I guess maybe Byron Jones or Thomas Andrews, maybe they're waiting just a little bit to see what's going to happen with the temperature or the track. Speaking of that, let's actually go ahead and bring up our race info, show all you guys what's going on for tonight. Looks like 79-degree air temp. Track temp is just a little bit cooler. I think that's, what does that say, about 69 on there. Graphic is a little small. I apologize.
Yeah, 68.
68. Okay, cool. So wind is not going to be an issue. We're in a very, very deep canyon here at Thunder Valley. Even though I'm sure the dirt is going to pad the sound just a little bit, it's still going to get crazy loud around here. Slightly cloudy, no issue, and getting ready to roll with these 22 trucks around Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think the bottom and middle line might be where people start out. They're definitely going to have to move around once the track really starts to do that hard pack. That you see with the rubber being laid down. You're going to see guys kind of migrate up. That high line should be where everybody ends up if we have a long green flag run, being able to carry the momentum and everything being up there. But I still think you're going to have a couple guys still trying to ride that bottom to middle, even when the surface does get a little sketchy. I think that's where people are going to be trying to make up time.
Absolutely. We'll try to get a little bit of use out of the track map for everybody. So hopefully we can kind of keep you up to date with where your favorite driver is. Unfortunately, right now it doesn't look like that is working. Not quite sure what happened there, but okay. Oh, that's because there's nobody out on track, so I'm just going to be quiet. Never mind. We'll get back to that, I promise. But Swatch, knowing what you know about some of the drivers, and driver interviews, and those that we just gotten to talk to, every now and then or every other week. Do you have a sense about anybody here tonight?
That's what I was saying earlier. Cody Meadows has talked about the dirt. Joshua Gayman's talked about the dirt. That's where he's usually at, and he doesn't really run oval a lot. There's a few out here that could be real contenders for really laying down some laps. The only thing is the guys who announced that during their podium interviews, they're not up towards the front. They're in the middle of the pack right now in these qualifying runs. So the guys who we haven't really been able to talk to, looks like maybe we should have talked to a few of them, because they're all out in front of the guys who were boasting about, I'm a dirt racer, that's where I predominantly run. I don't run a lot of oval pavement. And they're towards the middle. Now, however, Cody Meadows does normally start in the middle. He doesn't usually start out front. So he seems to work his way up through. Like, if you had a biggest mover number, I'm sure Cody would probably be one of them that usually is towards the back of the pack before the start of the race happens. And he's usually at the end up front. So I really don't have a clue tonight. I really don't. This track, it's so different that everybody's used to running. All the groups that we usually hang around are a lot of pavement, oval, some road course, but not a lot of dirt guys. So I don't know who has real experience. I just know of the few guys that were in the broadcast booth for the podium interviews that mentioned it. But like I said, those guys that mentioned it and boasted about being a dirt driver, they're not the fastest right now in qualifying, so that confuses me and says, well, maybe there's a bunch of guys out there we should have been interviewing ahead of time, maybe, to get a little bit of their dirt experience.
Well, these guys are all gridded up, out on track, and there is your there's your top 12 as they're going to start. Again, it's going to be Estes, Pinnell, Wright, Harder, Catania, Garrison, Youngs, with Gaiman in P number 7. P9 is going to be Brialt, Kerr in 10th. 11th is going to be Meadows, and Tom Sears in 12th. After those guys, you got Jamalin and McDonald, Billy, Ray, Feemster, Torsha, Wansing, Rupert, Blankenship, Gabbard, Jones, and Andrews. Again, Byron Jones and Thomas Andrews decided not to put on a qualifying lap. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they all work through the field. But there is your field all double filed up, getting ready to set this thing off, Kurt. Here we go. Green flag's going to drop. It's going to be your call, sir.
All right, Pete. Well, first I want to say, before I even see this, I'm seeing the inside row in that second row in that double mint paint scheme. I love that paint scheme, so I might be rooting for the 46 on whoever that is. I believe it's really right. But Pace truck is going to duck on off of pit road. We're going to come out of turn 478. It's going to be the lead car, and he is going to go green, Pete.
Yeah,
it's a great jump.
I tell you what, you saw everybody jump on the gas right there, and everybody got a little slideways. Everybody's fishtailing, just wiggling back and forth. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how far back we can take this without any kind of a wreck. I'm kind of working my way back through the corners. 3 wide going into 3, off the 4, and coming across. We're going to stay green for the first lap, and I think once we get a little bit of separation, it's going to get that much better, buddy.
The 88-48 and another truck just were 3 wide coming out of that corner, and they did not fit. They kind of pinched each other, and there's a few others that got some dings in there. I saw Sears come through there and a few others that got a little bit of damage, but we're on a dirt track. Damage really doesn't play into it as long as it's not engine damage or tire damage.
100% right. And I've seen a few of the people that have started up front now dropping back. For example, Andrew Jamalin got into a little bit of contact with another driver. I believe it was going to be James Kerr, and fell all the way back to 23rd. So started 13th, now back to 23rd, and he's got the 12 coming up on him. So that's about to put Jamalin a lap down, and right behind Pinnell is going to be Cody Harger in this number 66 Toyota TRD.
Yeah, James Kerr dropped 12 positions on that first start here. He's going to have to get it rolling here because the 12's coming. He's laying down some laps right now, but the rest of the field's looking kind of in the same spot. That back towards the middle there, you see a few that are in pluses right now. Byron up 6 positions in these first few laps. Same with Blankenship, up 5 positions, now up 6, moving up to 15th place. So there's some guys coming from the back right now that did not qualify that are coming.
Yeah, Byron Jones, I talked to him last week as part of the one of the Patriot Esports meetings, and he told me that he felt pretty good about dirt. He was just going to try to keep it consistent and keep that U.S. Air Force A-10 Warthog on mission, and that's exactly what he's doing. As you said, up 7 spots right now, and he's got the 5 of Donald Ray, a guy that we've talked to, a guy that we've said has been pretty fast on most ovals all week, or I'm sorry, all season so far, and here he is right on the back bumper of that 29, or in the truck, you might as well say a tailgate, and right in front of them is going to be the 65 Craftsman Ford F-150.
Yeah, 65 of Jamalin's he's kind of being kind of a rolling roadblock right now. There's a few guys that are trying to use that middle to bottom lane, and Jamalin's not able to keep his truck steady. He's putting a little bit too much wheel in it, so it's turning his truck, towards the inside wall rather than trying to stay in that little bit of slide that they can do. And he's kind of coming down into people's paths. So they're kind of trying to work through there. Dylan McDonald moving up through the field right now, up 6 positions, now up to 8. That 46 that I was really loving that paint scheme is falling back now. He's back 4 positions from his starting position.
Yeah, catching up to the 46 of Briley right now. As you said, in that double mint truck, he's got the 38 of Dylan McDonald right there with him, almost literally pushing him down the straightaway. And Kurt, you see these guys, we got to have the 48 and the 46.
Got loose coming out of there.
Yep, they kind of collected each other, working lap 10 right now. We got 15 laps remaining.
Caution.
Nope, no caution.
Wow. Catania got put into the pits.
I wonder if because it's a heat, cautions are off. I'm going to guess that's
probably possible.
Yeah, very, very real possibility. But 75 has caught up to this group. You see that Bud number 8, that Dale Jr. throwback back there a little bit.
Pete, jump back up to the lead.
That's where I'm going right now.
Heyman just went all the way through the field, up 6 positions, and took the lead from Ryan Pinnell.
Yeah, so
and
Josh
he is flying.
Yep, Joshua Gaiman in qualifying or before qualifying started, I mentioned that he was the fastest truck in practice, now showing that was no fluke. It wasn't because he was doing any kind of big wall riding or anything. A little bit of contact
85.
Between him and the 85, able to clear him, did get a little bit of did get a little bit of damage on the front right. The 12 of Ryan Pinnell trying to get back in there, really throwing it into the corner, but that's not going to work, Swats.
46 in the way. Ooh.
There's a yellow.
Yeah, there's a caution. I'd say 46 was parked on the middle of the turn there, and I think he just took out Ryan Pinnell, if I'm not mistaken here.
Well, let's go back and take a look. I think that the 46 was Briley Wright. We'll go back and catch up with what he just saw.
Pinnell's got a whole bunch of damage to the front end now.
46 bouncing off the wall a little bit. 8 truck came up and a little bit of contact there, and just nowhere to go. And collects the 46 one more time. Right.
Almost that looks like a retaliation, Pete, but I'm not sure. On this
I wasn't
whether it is or not.
I wasn't gonna go there, but you're. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of looked like it.
Yeah. He kind of cut him up. 8 truck definitely turned right there. But then again, Swats, these guys can argue that they're rocking their trucks to the left, to the right, and to the left again to get those trucks set up for the corner. So it's going to be kind of hard to tell. That will be a call by the admins. Let's go ahead and bring us back live, though. So, yeah, like you said, the 61 of Joshua Gaiman now up 6 spots. The biggest mover right now, I believe, is actually going to be the 29, though, of Byron Jones. He's sitting in 12th, but he started 23rd, so up 11 spots in this Patriot Esports number 29 U.S. Air Force Silverado. Not bad at all. 14, Lurker Tom Gaming out there says 14 knows he's bad on dirt for the record. So there we go.
Well, looking at the roster right now, Pete, there's more drivers with positives next to their names than negatives. Gaiman's up 6, Harger's up 1, which obviously he started 4th. Cody Meadows up 6, Dylan McDonald up 8, Ryan Billy up 8, Seth Wansing up 9. Byron Jones up 11. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys moving up into this top 10 that did not start up here.
Let's kind of take a quick moment to maybe go through the field. I didn't catch whether the lights were still on the pace truck last time around.
They're still on.
Yep, they are still on. All right. So here is your 61, your current leader of Joshua Gaiman. No information available. Ryan Pinnell, though, out of Good Hope, Georgia, piloting that number 12. He'll be in this Hooters truck all night long. Cody Hagar out of Calhoun, Louisiana, in this number 66. Toby S.
Jeske paint scheme.
Yeah, it is.
It looks pretty nice too.
I tell you what, I'm kind of liking this this Martin Truex Jr. Furniture Row scheme. I mean, Swats, that is right on. Your brother would love that truck.
I'm glad he went with that paint scheme finally. I've seen him in a few different paint schemes this season, and he finally threw on the Martin Truex. I was waiting for it.
That is absolutely nice. Then behind him, you got the Dale Do the Do paint scheme. Dylan Mcdonald out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. And then Ryan Billy, a little bit further back here, out of Girard, Pennsylvania. Joshua Garrison out of Bloomingburg, Ohio. Jeremy Youngs, he's out of Dexter, New York. Seth Wansing out of Peculiar, Mississippi. Kind of peculiar. Jeremy Brialt, no information available right now. Byron Jones out of Arizona. I think it's like Mesa, Arizona or something like that. I'm sure he'll correct me later. And then Donald Ray out of Rockwall, Texas. Tom Sears, he's going to be with no information available. Kevin Feemster, no info available. Brian Rupert out of Trenton, Ohio. I'm aware of a Trenton, New Jersey. But we're going to go back green. Swats, here we go.
Yeah, 61 had a great jump there. I was kind of wondering what was going on. The 61 and 12 were kind of door banging as they were coming through turn 3 and 4. But Pete, look at the 3 wide racing back here for second place right now. 4 wide almost.
Everybody throwing. Look at these 3 wide, and their trucks are all slideways. I mean, they were nose to tail from the wall all the way down to the inside. I mean, that was a phenomenal display of driving by every single one of these guys. And you see the 88 as he goes by, how he's rocking that wheel back and forth. Good job by him.
Crash in the back. 44 just got turned. I don't see a caution.
Nope, no caution so far. Dale Jr. or Dale Fan 8, like you said, Byron's grandmother out there in chat. He's out of Goodyear, Arizona. So I said Mesa, and I knew eventually I was going to get corrected. I'm glad that glad that she's out there and keeps an eye on Byron. He's a good guy and deserves all the support that he can get.
Leader, the 4 car and that. Oh, I don't know about those two. They just took the leader out.
Yeah, that's actually gonna. Let me see. The leader was the 61, I believe, right? So let's. We'll actually go ahead and we're gonna rock that.
2 lap down cars that just took the leader out.
Yeah, we're gonna rock that back and play it from there.
He had nowhere to go because they were too wide.
So keeping an eye on the leader. Let's go ahead and actually face that forward. He should be coming up to him here pretty soon. Just Kurt, look at him. He's all high, wide, and handsome up on the cushion, and he had nowhere to go. Guys battling side by side. I'm not quite sure if they were having an argument amongst themselves on track. And
looked like they were trying to hit each other through the windows.
Yeah.
It's
Something.
like they pulled up to each other and was trying to have a conversation, yelling at each other through the windows.
Very unfortunate. Maybe they were.
Gaiman's going to be really upset about this one. He was on a tear. But Cody Meadows, again, another driver that I said in the podiums interviews that he said he was really good at dirt. So that would classify as another win. But unfortunately, it's just a heat race. So, but I mean, yeah, another win for Cody, even though it's a heat race. That's still a good feat for him. Coming up 10 positions. Ryan Billy up 13 positions to finish second. That was last week's driver that was just murdering the field until late. He got caught up in something and wound up finishing third. Gaiman falls all the way down.
Wow. All right, so now, Kurt, I don't know if they're allowing the track to be resurfaced or not, but they've got about a almost 5 minute warm up to go on out and turn some laps. If they do resurface this, it'll be great for everybody. If they don't, everybody has an idea of what kind of what kind of traction or what kind of condition the track will be in. I don't see.
I think they would resurface it.
Well, so far I'm actually seeing some rubber laid down in the high groove, so I don't know. Interesting.
Well, are we able to pull anybody in that would be able to answer that for us?
I think we might be able to. Yeah, let's pull Ryan Pinnell into the booth. Ryan Pinnell, it is Repeat and KS Gaming in the booth, buddy. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, bud, that was a hell of a heat race after qualifying. Now, for this main race, I believe it's 100 laps, if I'm not mistaken. And is the track being resurfaced before the main, or is it going to be run in the condition that it was after that heat?
Yeah. So it reset for the warm up here, and it will also reset. So we'll get the track workers out there after this warm up and get the track back to 0%, and it'll be 75 laps for the feature. We'll have a stage break at the end of lap 30. So yeah, we'll have a fresh track with all these trucks, and should be some fun racing out there.
Well, that was just a whole lot of fun racing right there. At one point, there were 3 trucks all into the corner at the same time. They were nose to tail, and the guy up high his bumper is just about scraping the wall, and the guy that's all the way on the inside, his front bumper is like right on the inside wall going through the corner. That was some amazing driving. We did see a little bit of contact throughout the field. Unfortunately, the 61 was not able to grab the W after getting blocked by a couple of lap cars, but all in all, one hell of a race. What are you expecting out of the main?
Yeah, I think it'll be a great race. I mean, this new scan that iRacing did of the 2021 surface really brought the top line in, but you can still run the bottom too, especially when the track starts to get slicked off up at the top. You know, that bottom line will be very enticing for some people. So me personally, I'm going to stick it on the outside, keep it up there. You know, I finished 6th in my heat race. I qualified 2nd, so we got some speed in that 12 truck tonight. I just got to bring it home.
All right, so Ryan, where is the line at Bristol Motor Speedway for you? Is it down low and really getting that truck to turn, or is yours up high in the cushion?
Oh yeah, up high in the cushion, top line all the way. You know, it's really just there's some guys that'll run the top line that aren't quite as fast, and when you catch those guys, you're gonna have to try and make a move on the bottom. But I'm gonna be up top for pretty much the entirety of these 75 laps.
You know, Pete and Ryan, that's different than what I saw tonight in the truck race at Bristol. They started out on the bottom until it really started getting the rubber laying down until it gets that hard pack, and they started moving up the track. Some guys started at the top for sure, but most of the guys were starting down at the bottom. So here tonight you're saying it's the opposite, where a lot of guys are going to want to start up top, and then that bottom line might be there in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the speed is in the top side for sure, but once you see that top side starting to slick over, you'll see some guys will go even higher. I mean, you'll see the right rear quarter panel bouncing off the wall. Sparks will be flying, but some guys will try that inside line just because there's not a lot of traffic down there, so that it's still sort of fresh. So yeah, absolutely, it's a little bit backwards from tonight's truck race in real life, but that's what makes this interesting. You know, it's always different.
It's going to be different for sure, and we got a little bit of different news today as well. Old North Wilkesboro is going to be coming back. 1 full month of racing on the blacktop, then they're going to get rid of the blacktop and bring back the original dirt that a lot of the legends raced on. We've got about 5 seconds left. Pro dirt or pro asphalt for you?
Oh, I'm all dirt. I'm a dirt guy. I love dirt. I'm so much faster on dirt than I am asphalt, so I can't wait. Hope iRacing scans the dirt surface, and that that'd be a really, really cool race.
All right, buddy. We'll get you back down to team.
They need to take the windshields out.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
We'll get you back down with team side swipe. Good luck tonight, sir. We'll catch you during the race.
Thank you, buddy.
You got it. That was Ryan Pinnell, driver of the number 12 Hooters machine. Again, he said he finished in P number 6, so we'll actually kind of watch him as him and everybody else grids up. Let's actually see if it shows me a different grid for
on the pole.
What's that?
Cody Meadows looks like he's going to be now on the pole for this since he won the heat race there.
Yep, there you go.
Billy's going to be starting second.
Let's go ahead and bring that up one more time.
And that's unfortunate for Gaiman. Like I said, he winds up finishing 8th in that, so he's going to be starting 8th in this race. But I mean, he flew up through the field and he was on a tear until he got stuck by those 2 lap cars.
Yeah, very unfortunate. We're actually going to start this off with the ticker across the top, Swats, because I want to keep the bottom clear for all the great action that we're about to see for the next 75 laps. You going to stick with your pick for tonight, or you're going to switch it around, sir?
I don't even know who I picked to begin with. So
I think you actually picked the guy that's in second right now, Cody Meadows.
Okay. I don't know. I really want to pick Gaiman because I know he talked about it so much about being dirt, and we just saw him fly through the field and take the lead and never even look back. And I mean, he would have won that by almost a straightaway if it wasn't for 2 lap down cars. So that's where I was saying earlier is you could be really, really fast and really good on the dirt, but that doesn't mean you're going to make it to the end and be the one fighting for the win if you get caught up in somebody else's mess that does not know how to drive on dirt. So I'm flipping Gaiman and Meadows. I'm flipping between those two. I really don't know.
Either wherever you go, I really don't think there's a wrong answer because there's so many unknowns. But I was actually going to go with the 61 of Gaiman as well, just because of his history throughout the night. Again, fastest in practice, very, very quick in qualifying, quick right there in the heat, starting back in P number 7 right now, right atop the 9 of Ryan Pinnell that actually should have a number 12 on it. Oh, no, 12 is right in front of him. So, man, it's gonna be interesting. You know what? I'll go ahead and I'll take the 12 of Ryan Pinnell in his Hooters truck since he says he's all dirt. We'll see if he can get that thing up to the front. I'll take the 12 if you want the 61.
I don't think we're gonna be wrong on either one of these picks. All three of them are really fast. So I don't know. I mean, even Ryan Billy, we talked about him before, but he was really fast at Martinsville, led a bunch of laps, and here he is starting on the front row in second. So, and even that 66 of Cody Harger, I don't remember seeing him a whole lot throughout this season so far. And here he is riding up in a Ty Majeski paint scheme, which you don't see Ty Majeski up in the front row in a truck race. But here he is.
Absolutely. We saw the one other truck stuck in the wall before it was on the last lap. Now the 23 also up in the wall. I think he might be testing that cushion to see if it was there. So far, though, Cody Meadows absolutely running away. The guy that you just mentioned, Cody Harger, right now sitting P2. Dylan Mcdonald in P number 3. Ryan Billy P4. And Ryan Pinnell up 1 spot so far, sitting in P number 5. Swats.
Yeah, and Gaiman's coming. He's up 2 positions already. He's working on Pinnell and the 23 of Billy and McDonald. He's trying to figure out which one of them is going to leave an opening, but he's running some really fast laps back there in traffic right now, sitting 6th. But yeah, Ryan Pinnell, Gaiman, Meadows is out front already, almost to a complete second out in front of everybody. So these 3 are going to put on a show, and I'm going to be wondering if somebody else is going to try to step up through here and take the podium from these 3.
Yeah, this 61 is moving. He's up high, he's moving. He's down low, he's moving. He just passed the 12, and they were literally door-to-door Swats. I don't think you could have stuck a piece of paper between them. 23 up into the wall. Yep, 23 up into the wall. 12 is going to be able to work on by. And the 9 of Seth Wansing is now going to go ahead and challenge. He figures if Joshua Gaiman can open up a hole, he can follow him right through. And, man, if you can set your truck up the same way that the guy in front of you is doing it, you can absolutely carry the same speed.
Gaiman's up 4 positions already in 6 laps, so I think he's going to be trying to come for Cody, and I think he's probably a little upset after that heat race. That he's probably thinking, let me get out front here and let me run away from everybody and avoid and try to let off and give some of these lap down cars some room so I don't get caught up in it again. But he's right on that wall. I mean, he has inches between that back right corner and that spoiler and that wall. I mean, it's right on the edge of that.
Yo, let's actually go ahead and grab a view of that right rear. As you said, look at that. Look at the distance between his bumper and that wall. And you don't really see any damage on that right rear whatsoever. Really just throwing that thing up there, using the cushion, getting into throttle, and keeping that wheel turned. You know, in practice, I mentioned a term to Byron that sailors yesteryear used to use a lot, and that was hard over. And that is exactly what these drivers have these wheels around the Bristol Motor Speedway covered in dirt. They are all hard over, Swats.
Wondering if Byron had to go look that one up or if you had to explain it, but yeah, these guys, I mean, when you really start turning this wheel, I mean, it's a lot like drifting. If you've ever been in a drift or you ever watched drifts or those type of races or anything like that, you really want that car to be, you know, you want the wheels to be facing the direction you want to go, but you want the rear end facing at an angle so that you can carry the speed through the corners and you're not having to brake or let off or anything like that, and the car just kind of glides. But these tires on dirt, they're not slicks. They have grooves. They kind of look like a four-wheeler tread is what it kind of looks like. So it gives you a little bit of bite, but you just want to carry the speed to where you're not having to let off or really having to brake or anything like that. And some of these guys are really getting that car, that truck sideways, and some are kind of letting off a little more than they probably should, and they're just rolling through the corners, and they're losing positions. But these guys that are really hanging it out there, they're making up a lot of ground.
Oh, absolutely. Riding on board right now from the cockpit with Dylan Mcdonald. You see him right behind the 66. In front of them, you see the number 2. That's going to be Kevin Feemster, now down one lap in his number. In his number 2 Ford F-150. But right now, everybody's still chasing Cody Meadows up here in the lead. There you actually see the 5. The 5 was very, very fast in practice. That was Donald Ray. So I'm going to guess he had a little bit of an issue. But now on the bottom line, leaving the top all to the leader in his HendrickCars.com Silverado. And the more and more space he's able to put back on Jamalin, which is now fallen back to, I'm sorry, not Jamalin, Gaiman, which is still sitting in 4th place. But Swats, Cody Meadows is starting to run down the more and more trucks in the tail end of the of these competitors.
The 66 and 38 are just, they're having fun, I think, or at least I hope they're having fun, because they're crossing over each other over and over and over. Now, but doing that allowed the 61 and 23 to catch them, and now 61 is battling the 38. But I think a lot of consequences will get this, but I think the 66 thinks this is a wall riding event because he seems to be bouncing it off that wall and continuing to go through the corners. He's not really hanging the truck sideways a whole lot, or he's trying to, but he's tagging the wall almost every corner and kind of rolling around through the corner and gets it going again. But we got a caution out on track beat, and I think this is going to be towards the back.
Yeah, I think I'll actually go ahead and change this up here. I think this might actually be our competition no, it's actually early. I think he said the competition caution was going to come at lap 25. This is just lap number 18. So let's go back here. I think this is going to have something to do with Donald Ray, Toby Estes, and that's going to be it. Let's find out. There's the 5 coming off the corner, going down the back stretch. Throwing it into the corner, just completely lost it, looped it around. 78 in that MTJ throwback, nowhere to go. Caution is out.
Yeah, not much the 78 could do there, but I mean, this is what I was talking about. The 5 was a lap down. 78 was still on the lead lap up there, but just had nowhere to go. And Toby Estes was really fast. He was a pole sitter for the heat race. Thought he'd be here, at the end up front, which he could still be there. We still got a lot of laps to go.
Oh, yeah.
But this is what I was talking about, is guys who are not really used to that dirt, and guys who are, just because you're really fast on dirt doesn't mean you're going to make it to the end. It's not a guarantee.
That's right. Riding actually with the other 78 as he pulled into his pit stop. Got 4 brand new. I think these guys, don't they run Hoosiers on the dirt? Or is it the same?
I think they just take 4-wheeler tires off there and throw it on there.
Yeah, I know that.
Thing on the iRacing, it doesn't look like they change the tread or anything from what I can tell.
Yeah, I think you're right. But everybody was able to see the 78's panels get knocked back out. So he's got a brand new truck. So it's kind of pretty cool, Swats. I'm hoping that the 78 is able to get this done. I was actually able to work my way down, or get my way down to Homestead Miami Speedway when Truex won the championship in this car. So I'm hoping he can get that done. I remember they said, what's that?
It must have been uneventful.
Oh man, yeah.
Not a big Martin Truex fan, so.
Yeah. Well,
he's all right.
Yeah, I grew up not too far from where he's from, so and all the struggles that him and Sherry and everything that he was going through with Barney Visser closing the doors and doing all that. So, it was just it was phenomenal to see a very, very underfunded company get on up there, contend, and take the win in a matte black truck. And it was because Barney Visser's wife did not like the glare of the truck. She liked it just the very, very dull matte black. That's why Truex always ran this scheme, and Kurt Busch before him, because the owner's wife, she did not like the semi-gloss paint on that truck. In case you didn't know that, a little bit of useless knowledge from me.
Well, then maybe you can find some knowledge on why Martin has not gotten married to Sherry, because I can't figure that one out.
Well, could be for the same reason why my sister Rita hasn't married her fiance, or my other sister Colleen hasn't married her fiance. They've been together for 20 years, it seems, and man, maybe they just don't need that piece of paper. But we are going back green. Going to work my way back up to the leader, Cody Meadows, in this number 88 Dale. Starting to step out. 66 of Cody Harder right behind, and then Joshua Gaiman in the 61, having to check up just a little bit for the 66, getting into the corner. Coming off, though, you can expect a lot of speed out of that Toyota.
Harger and Gaiman both are trying to work their way towards Meadows, but in my opinion, they just need to cool it a little bit. And 23 sideways, getting into the purple truck back there. I can't think of who that is. But they just got sideways and smashed right into each other.
Yeah, I think that might have been the 38. Second caution of the race is out. This one might be staged, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a mix.
Might have been Bria. I don't know who it is. It's not Mcdonald, though, because McDonald's in fourth.
Yeah, one truck was kind of on its side there. But there were quite a few involved in that. Looks like the first one to throw up any kind of an issue is going to be Jeremy, Jeremy Youngs. There we go. So I'll work my way up to him. Let's see what happened there. There you see him up top in that number 44. This is his truck is also partially purple. Tagged the wall just a little bit, and big wreck in front of him, including the 23. So we're actually going to go ahead and back this up, and we're going to change.
I'm trying to figure out who's hit the 23. I can't tell. Oh, geez, there's a pile up back there.
Yep, we're gonna change.
No wonder there's a lot of guys that dropped down through the lineup.
And we're gonna back this up even a little bit further. Everybody was up by the wall there, Swats. So watch this from the chase cam of this 44. There's going to be nowhere for him to go.
It clogs the whole road right there from pit road entrance.
Yep.
I want to say it's Catania that actually was involved with the 23.
Oh, and Byron is the one that was on his side. Very, very unfortunate for that 29.
Yeah, 2 wheels is not better than 4.
Nope. All right, so let's go ahead and bring it back live.
I'm thinking that was Catania that was involved with the 23 when the 23 went sideways. I think Catania got him, but he was able to keep it straight. And then the 23 spinning across the track with everybody else clogged it.
Well, let's actually ride on board with the 48. He was able to get to the outside. 78 that just fixed himself up, and that is the big one on the backstretch. A lot of very, very fast trucks were involved in that one. In fact, you know what? Let's rewind this a little bit slower.
I don't think it's him either. Somebody with purple.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of cars with purple on them, so I'm gonna. It's whoever's right there. Who's that in the front?
Is that Garrison?
44.
Well,
Or
yeah.
just go to the 23. That'll make it easy.
All right, let's find the 23.
He's the one that spun first, so he's who I saw get really sideways off the wall. Came right down in front of somebody.
So yeah, there's those guys. There's quite a few involved in this wreck right here, and Swatch, like you said, it completely blocked the track. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right, so we're back double file, working lap 30 of 75. So 45 more laps to call this one done. Looks like the lights atop the Silverado Pace truck are out. 88, 66, 61 all over the back bumper of the 88 because he knows the 88 is going to have the hole shot. So if he can follow him through, get on by the 66, he might have a good chance at trying to take that lead coming out of 4 next time round. But the 61 caught sleeping just a little bit. 75, 66, are they going to be able to work this out? Yes, they are. Great driving side by side, 2 rows deep.
61, he kind of used the 66 as a little bit of buffer there so he could continue through. And he's able to make the pass, but now the 66 could cross him up. He looks like he's going to try to, but he's going to push the 61 instead.
Yeah, both of them up by the wall. 61 tagged that outside wall just a little bit, overshot the cushion. So now 61, 66, and the 38 up here sitting in P number 4. That I thought for a second maybe that was the other purple truck that you were talking about. And then the 75 of James Kerr, that's going to round out your top 5, Swats.
Yeah, and unfortunately I'm looking at this right now, and it looks like Garrison is out of the race, and Toby Estes is on pit road parked.
Yellow number 3 is out. Let's see here. Looks like it's going to have something to do with Brian Rupert. So let's see if we can catch up with him right quick, find out what happened.
Is that the...
That's the number 8 Bud Machine.
I thought maybe that was the stage.
He was up at the wall waiting for his truck to set, and the 23 gave him just a little bit of help getting into the corner. And now the 8 is actually hung up on the wall. So if he can't get that thing off, you see him trying to hit the throttle. If he can't get that off the wall, he is going to have to tow, and that's exactly what you see here. So now that Bud 8 sitting on pit road. And unfortunately, that's gonna hurt him because that tow clock is going to continue to count until he's able to get back out on track. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. Keep up with the rest of the field. Definitely, again, want to thank everybody that's out there. See about 20 of you, hanging out, catching these ARCS Midwest barbecue truck drivers out here on track. These Saturday night showdown drivers. What a great job. What a lot of fun this has been so far, Swats.
Yeah, it's been fun seeing the mud flying and these guys making passes. Some of them are really fast and really able to put that truck in position that I definitely want to be able to do it. But Gaiman and Meadows, I mean, 2 very, very fast trucks. Harger right there with him. He's not really fading on him. McDonald coming up through the field. Brielle up 12 positions, now sitting P5. Kerr up 6 positions. Wright up 12 positions. Blankenship up 15 positions. There's a lot of guys in the top 10 that were way in the back when this race started.
Yeah, very much. I mean, there's a lot of great side by side and sometimes 3 wide racing at times as you watch them come through turns 3 and 4, heading back towards the front stretch. Looks like Barney is still holding that yellow flag, so we're going to go around one more time. Next time should be the green. Everybody in the field still at pace speed.
We're getting to the halfway point here, so I mean, so far out of these drivers, obviously Meadows and Gaiman, I would say, are probably the class of the field, but I'm really starting to wonder about some of these guys that are coming up through the back that really stayed in the back for most of this first half of this race. I mean, like I said, Blankenship up 15 positions. That's insane. I mean, starting 23rd, that's second to last in this field, starting the race, and he's up 15 positions. Wright up 12. Brill up 12. I mean, those are guys that started back in the 20s, and they're now sitting here in the top 8. Does that mean that they have really fast trucks and they're able to move through the field, or have they avoided some of these big issues that have happened, like that roadblock that we just saw?
Well, track awareness is huge on concrete and pavement ovals. Just imagine how big it is here on dirt when the guy behind you just threw that truck into the corner. So all kinds of slideways behind you. So you're on the gas trying to get these things to steer. You're hard over on the wheel, but oh, by the way, you're having to check up and do that all at the same time. Man, it's not easy to ride, to drive dirt, but we're back green. 61 got a great shot on the outside. 88 down low. I don't think the 61 is going to be able to clear him. It looks like it's going to be the 88's lead still, blocking the 61, trying to throw them both in. Nice little block there. Made the 61 check up a little bit. 88 should have momentum. Here's the crossover.
That's I mean, like I said, these two are the class of the field right now on dirt, and they're just throwing this truck all over the place. I mean, McDonald coming too with these guys battling, but I mean, the 88, he went up there, he touched the wall a little bit, allowed the 61 to get in front of him. He crossed him back over on the next straightaway, took the lead back, and here you have the 61 again, diving it down in there, trying to slide up in front, but not able to make that pass. Now here comes Dylan McDonald on the 38 with momentum.
Yeah, 38, and he's got the 66 right behind him. And then you got Cody Harder and Jeremy Brielle. First time we're talking about Brielle inside the top 5, sitting right here in his Taco Bell number 74. And he's looking pretty good. You're talking about big mover swats. He is up 12 spots since the start as the 66 again tags that wall going through the corner. Challenge for the lead.
They're following each other right into the wall. Every time one of them out front hits that wall, they all seem to be in the tire marks of the guy in front of them, and they're following them right into that wall, and they all just bounced it off there.
Well, I tell you what, we talked to Ryan Pinnell for just a little bit during that warm-up session, and we asked him, low line or high line, and he said high line all the way. And the 61 has not been able to clear the 88 because the 88 has very, very good control of that high line. He knows exactly where to check up, as he actually just gave the wall a little check. But they know where to put the truck, and the 61 has not been able to clear him on the inside because of that high line momentum.
61 has been using and utilizing that high line all night. He's been flying up there inches from the wall, but the 88 is riding the same line. So the 61 has got to find another way to get around him. But that bottom line, I mean, he's really got to be on the back bumper as they go into a corner to really dive it down in there. But then he's got to be able to block and carry the speed out so that the 88 does not carry the momentum off the high line and cross him right back over into the next turn and take the lead again.
Yeah, riding on board with the 61, looking all over the back end of this Mountain Dew number 88. Again, going in. I mean, it's wicked to see just how much wheel movement these guys are having to put into it and violently throwing that wheel around. By the end of this thing, whether it's a Logitech, it's a Thrustmaster, or Fanatec, whatever, these servos are going to get a workout tonight.
Noticing a bunch of sparks flying off the wall too. Like I said, these guys, I mean, they're throwing this thing sideways, and they're inches from that wall. And like I said, all 4 of them are kind of nose to tail. They're not really doing anything right now, so they're kind of following each other. And it's, like I said, one guy gets over that little threshold up in that cushion, and it puts him right on the wall. And if you watch the domino effect, you'll see the second guy go right into the wall too. The third guy go right in the wall. The fourth guy go right in the wall, because they're all following each other so closely that they're riding in their tire tracks. And if one guy's a little bit too high to start the group, all 4 of them seem to be riding right there, and they go right into the wall.
Yeah, 60
moved down though a little bit.
Yep, I was just going to say the same thing. 61 moved down until the 38 started to close in on him, and then he decided to move back up to take the line away, and now he's right back up there on par with Cody Meadows in the 88 and Dylan McDonald in this 38. Chevy Silverado right behind him. Just got a notification that Byron Jones back there in the 29 just had an issue, but no caution. Working lap 50. Swats, 25 laps to go. Y'all want to know anything about ARCS Racing, or if you want to follow them on Twitter, in the very top of the scoring pylon, there is their Twitter handle, at ARCS_Racing. Make sure you go on over, give them a follow. They would absolutely appreciate it. All their weekly information is out there. Whether it's Cup, Truck, Xfinity, whatever it is. Go on over, give them a follow. Tell them I said hi. Tell them I sent you and to say hi. I'm sure they'll respond in a hurry. This is a very, very large community, Swats. It actually reminds me of the good old days of N&R back on console, when we're seeing 3 series and more. These guys have a huge roster throughout their community.
Yeah, it's kind of a touchy, unfortunate situation.
Yeah,
we went through with that, but I loved it there. I miss it. I wish we could get it all back together and undo some of the issues that were happening, but I don't think it'll ever happen. There's multiple leagues out there, though. Most of the guys in there have separated and created new leagues, and they all raced in each other's leagues and things like that. And then you see a few guys out there randomly in a different league and things like that too. So it's an insane amount of people that are in ARCS, and I mean, they're able to control all the guys and handle everything that happens, and that takes a lot of great admins and a great owner. So, good job on these guys getting this whole thing together and being able to keep it steady and keep it from being drama filled.
Yeah, very much so. It's actually really, really cool. These guys will all get together in their sports bar page or channel within Discord. They'll get together and have a good old time. Yeah, they'll cut up with each other, but when it comes down to race time, it's nothing carries over. They don't have a whole lot of gossip and drama and all that going throughout their pages. If they have an issue with someone, they go right to them and they deal with it. They don't let it fester and let it build. They handle it right there, Johnny on the spot, and they move on week in and week out. Glad I'm here. Glad you're here. Phenomenal race. It looks like the next truck to go a lap or more down. You see that number 29 Patriot Esports Silverado to the inside of the leader, right behind the 14 of Tom Sears, and the 46 double make truck. He's going to go a lap down as well.
Yeah, that was a little
challenge for the lead.
That's going to allow the 61 to fly up here. 88 lost a ton of momentum sitting between those 3 lap down cars.
17 to go now, Swats. Can the 61 check out the way the 88 did? Yep. 38 just gave a little bit of a shot to the back end of the 88. Caution's out. Ooh.
I don't think this is what Gaiman was looking for. Gaiman did not want a caution. He finally took the lead, and I don't think he was going to give it back to Dylan or to Cody, I mean. And Dylan was coming as well. Cody, I think, got a little flustered behind those lap-down cars and went to throw it in the next corner and tagged the wall, and that allowed the 61 just to fly up underneath him and carry that speed through there, and he didn't get crossed up by the 88. And that also allowed the 38 to come flying up on the 88 and gave him a little bump as the 88 kind of threw a little bit of a block in that corner. And I saw Dylan's name pop up on voice chat immediately, so I'm kind of wondering what was said there, but I'm gonna guess it was something about blocking. And yeah, the 61, I definitely don't think he wanted to see this caution right now.
Yeah, I don't think so either. One person that did want to see the caution, if as the timing stands right now, it's going to be the 14 as you see him go ahead and pulling low underneath the leaders. Tom Sears, he's going to go ahead and get his lead back. I'm sorry, get his lap back, I should say. He was the first truck one lap down that wasn't involved in a caution, so that's going to put 13 trucks back on the lead lap. If we should happen to have another quick caution or two, the next people in line to get their lap back is going to be Feemster and then Catania. That would put 15 trucks back on the lead lap if it happens to so work out that way. T-Money out there saying, weird seeing Lurkin go a lap down in the 14. I got to agree. He was actually pretty fast in practice, so very surprised.
He did make a comment in the chat saying the 14 knows he's bad on dirt for the record. So he did clear the air right before the race started and said he's not very good. So I don't know. He's kind of hanging in there. He's right in the middle of the field right now. First person that just got his lead or lap back. But he has been kind of struggling. So I don't know if he's much of a dirt racer or not, but he's not able to run these laps that these guys up here in the front are. But I mean, Gaiman, Meadows, McDonald, Briault, Harger. I mean, Harger's been hanging around right there in the top 5 all night. I have not seen him outside the top 5. I mean, he's sitting in the position where he started the race. So he's probably somebody to watch for at the end here. If these three at the front get to battling, we've seen them already bumping and banging and going up into the wall. That 66 could be sitting in that catbird seat with these three up here battling it out when these last 13 laps speed.
Yeah, absolutely. Could very well be up there. So Joshua Gaiman back in the lead, able to really shoot the gap when that caution came out, or just before it came out. So he was in the lead at the last scoring loop. The lights atop the pace truck are still on. Let's see if maybe we can get a quick word with Tom Sears. Mr. Sears, it is Repeat and KS Gaming 51 Old Swats up in the booth. T-Money out there in chat saying it's weird to see you down one lap in that number 14. Buddy, you got what it takes to try to fight your way up there?
Yeah, you know, I was fortunate enough to get the lucky dog. I can't believe I even got it. Yeah, I'm pretty bad on dirt, so no surprise here. Just trying to not get a DNF, man. Hopefully we can crack top 10 if everyone crashes.
Well, we'll go ahead and we'll get you back. You were with Team Outlaw, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy.
For the stream, buddy.
Yeah, man. Good luck. Go get him.
Thank you.
All right, green flag back out. Kurt, 6188 slideways going through 1 and 2. 88's going to make a little contact with the wall, but is able to get back in the gas and stay right there with him.
And the wall did not slow the 88 down. I was kind of surprised there. The 61 really let off the gas, which allowed the 88, even though he tagged the wall, to carry the speed off the wall and still stay with him. But 61 still out front. 66 just made a pass on the 38. Seems to be really fast. Still up there wall riding is what I would call it if we were on the console side. But these guys are, I mean, it's going to be a dogfight to the end here, Pete, with right around 10 laps to go.
Yeah, 66 made contact with the wall going into the corner. Very, very clear coming off. And with the momentum on the low, gave 66 a little bit of a check to the left rear. And those guys, with that contact, have now allowed Cody Meadows and Gaiman to jump out to quite a lead. And I see somewhere in the back, looks like Ryan Billy might have just had a little bit of an issue. But we are going to stay green all the way through. 8 laps remaining. Swats, we're into single digits. It's going to be a fight for the lead.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Meadows is going to give a little bump to Gaiman. Gaiman's got 1 win on the season. Meadows has 3. Does he just take second place, or if he's close enough, does he give a little bump to that 61? I saw him dive it in there a little bit deep a couple laps ago on Gaiman. He wound up sliding up and hitting the wall himself, but he was very close to clipping that left side bumper of the 61. Luckily, though, the 61 was able to just clear before the 88 touched the wall.
If you're a fan out there for Andrew Jamal and he had some kind of an issue a little bit further in the pack, still going to stay green. You saw that that white number 65 down on the bottom. He went ahead and pulled out of the way for the leaders, allowed them to fight on. 61 and 88 both made contact with the wall. 88 threw it in deep all the way on the bottom. He's going to get bogged down, Swats.
A ton of time.
Yep, got bogged.
66 is going to have a big run coming, though, if he can get close enough.
Yeah, that 66 going to be Cody Harger.
Goes into the wall.
I see what you mean about making contact with that wall before they get in. I think that's really just a product of racing hard and throwing it into the corner and just tagging that outside wall. I don't think it's exactly wall riding because it would really kill your truck. Now Kevin Feemster also showing to have an issue out there on track, still staying green. Now 4 laps remaining.
I'm just now noticing this, Pete, after all these laps. While they're in the corner sliding like this, you can see the dirt flying up off the track and going up through the catch fence and into the crowd.
Yeah.
It's insane the amount of details that iRacing puts into this, and I mean how realistic they make it look.
Yeah, that's what a good $4,000 computer can do for you. Yeah, when
the 88 passes the 61.
Yep, getting back up top right now. 88. Swats. He's got control of that high line. 61 really throwing it in, but it's gonna be a little bit of contact. 88, great hands, able to control it. 61 checked up. 2 to go.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be it for the 61. I don't think he's gonna get there, but that was, I mean, the 88 dove it deep in there, and the 61 touched the wall a little bit. And it just allowed him to slide up in there. 61 then turned it. He almost clipped that inside wall coming out of pit road. It was so close. But he was there, and it just slid right up into the 88. And 88 kept his foot in the pedal and did not let out whatsoever and was able to pull back around.
Yeah, 88 coming down across the line. He's going to go ahead and get it done. Here at Bristol, covered in dirt, 61, and then Dylan Mcdonald, him and the I believe it is the 26. No, it wasn't the 26. 66 of Cody Harger got into a little bit of a battle behind them. 66 ended up going around off the nose of McDonald, but that was again after many trips to the outside wall.
Yeah, I think Gaiman's probably going to be a little disappointed. I mean, he had that up until that last 2 laps, so we're probably going to hear a little bit of disappointment in his voice. But I mean, Gaiman, before he comes in here, I mean, coming home second, leading all those laps in the first heat and in this race, still bringing it home second with even getting caught up in some stuff. I think he should be happy with this.
Absolutely, it's pretty interesting, seeing these guys do a burnout on dirt. And no smoke, but look at the front end of this number 88 covered in mud. That is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and the windshield looks clean, Pete.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
Somehow. That's some really good sprayers in the front of that car.
There you go. But again, big congratulations to Cody Meadows, Joshua Gaiman, and Dylan McDonald. They are our top 3. We'll go ahead and bring up the rest of your finishing order right here. Behind McDonald's going to be Wansing sitting P4, James Kerr P3, Jacob Blankenship. James Kerr P5, Jacob Blankenship P6, Jeremy Brialt 7th, Ryan Pinnell 8th, Tom Sears 9th, Cody Harger in P10. Swats, you want to take the rest?
Sure. Jeremy Young's up to P11, up 10 positions. Tristan Catania finishing 12th. Andrew Jamalin out there in that 65 Chevy finishing 13th. Kevin Feemster finishing 14th. Byron Torchia finishing 15th. Donald Ray in the 5 finishing 16th. Ryan Billy in that 23 Chevy finishing 17th. Byron Jones out there in the 29 finishing 18th. Toby Estes finishing 19th. Briley Wright finishing 20th. Brian Rupert 21st. Terry Gabbard is 22nd. Joshua Garrison out of the race finishing 23rd. Thomas Andrews out of the race finishing 24th tonight, Pete.
Very, very good. Great race. And again, a big congratulations to Cody Meadows. He's got bragging rights for a year or until ARCS comes back in a brand new season racing Bristol on dirt. Please stick with us. We'll have our top 3 in the booth here momentarily. Again, big congratulations. Great race, everybody. Ladies and gents, please stay put, and we will be right back. I absolutely promise you. All right, ladies and gents, big thank you. Glad everybody's still sticking with us. One hell of a race here from Bristol Motor Speedway on the dirt. Thunder Valley got a little padded by a good 2+ feet of this red clay, or so it seems. In the booth first, going to be our P3 finisher in that number 38 Chevy Silverado, Dylan Mcdonald. Dylan, man, it really seemed like you and the 66 and a few others were battling very hard to finish, in the podium. Talk us through those last few races where you and the 66 were battling. It almost seemed like you were trading hits off the wall besides trading hits door to door. Talk us through the last 5 laps, please.
First and foremost, I do want to apologize to the 66. I don't want to take a position like that. I just didn't see that he got really loose in front of me and he just came across my nose. So apologize to the 66. Don't want to take a position that way. But the last 5 laps, that was nerve-wracking. The cushion was barely there in 3 and 4, or in 1 and 2. The 3 and 4 was actually pretty good, but hitting the brakes, kind of playing with the throttle all the way through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 kind of was a little bit tricky for me, but luckily I wasn't able to just keep it on the wall. I could move it down just a slight little bit and try to get a run off, and ended up paying out for me. Yeah, me and the 66, we traded places like 4 or 5 times in the last couple laps, and that was actually pretty fun, especially on a very blue and slick track.
Yeah, it definitely seemed very slick all night long. It after time, it did take a lot of rubber down, and it seemed like that high line was really the way to go, which is why there were so many trucks making contact with that outside wall, and we're still able to carry it quite a bit of speed off. Both Swats and I were pretty impressed with that. The P3 finish that you got, you're up 2 spots from where you finished in the heat. So an overall night, you pretty much finished where you started. Is that what you expected of yourself coming to Bristol in dirt?
Really, no. I thought I was going to be probably 10th or 15th, to be honest. I did a lot of practice on the dirt in the truck, just trying to get used to it, and for the life of me I could not figure it out. But I don't know if it's just like a league session or something, but it just all clicked right at the last moment. And in practice I tried running the bottom on a slick track, tried running the top, the middle, trying to see where I could make up some time, and the top side, like you said, just is the way to go, especially at a high banked track like Bristol.
Swatch, you got anything for a P3?
No, I mean that's another top 5 finish for you, Dylan. You're moving up through the points. You're in 8th now. Back a little ways though from the leader. You're about 60, 73, 74 points back. So, but definitely making up some ground with these good finishes. Unfortunately, the guy you need to catch is seems to be winning these races as he just collected his 4th win. So, what do you got to do to beat Cody or James Kerr or Tom Sears to get to that top 3 positions before the playoffs?
Got to change my mentality. Last couple weeks, I just wanted to hurry up, get to the front, and I forgot who I was trying to be like. And my biggest thing is be patient and let the positions come to you. Race the track how it wants to be raced, not you race how you want to race. I caught up in a lot of wrecks, and I just need to stem away from that and get back to how I normally drive in every race that I like doing. But yeah, I was actually just talking to Cody and told him, since I pushed you to a win, you got to push me back to a win. So he's like, well, I can push you, but I don't know about a win.
Yeah. Well, next week we go to Talladega, or 2 weeks from now, I guess we go to Talladega. Obviously, Super Speedway. I've seen you be very fast at Super Speedways over in this side and in HDL's league on Monday. Any expectations into Talladega, or are you just going to keep it that patience that you're talking about?
I'm just going to keep that patience. I'm going to run the race exactly how I did Daytona. Just take my time, figure out what side's moving, what side's not, and hopefully stay out of the big one. Especially at Talladega and Daytona, the big one can happen at any time. So definitely got to mind my P's and Q's when it comes to plate track racing.
Definitely a good mindset.
There you go. Again, big congratulations on this 3rd place finish. Got an off week next week, like Swatch just said. Rest up for Talladega, and we'll see you back there.
All right, thank you, sir.
You got it. All right, Swatch, we're going to bring up Joshua Gaiman. Gaiman was bad fast all night long in that number 61. We both thought at one point he was just going to have this in the bag. Came flying up, took the lead under caution, just wasn't meant to be. Driver 61's with you.
Hey, Josh, you got a copy, bud?
I got you.
All right. I'm not going to poke and prod at you too much, but I got to ask. The heat race, you were winning. You should have won that, in my opinion. You were out almost the whole straightaway, got locked up by 2 lap-down cars. Then you go in tonight. I just looked over the results. You and Cody are the only 2 leaders for the entire race tonight. You 2 are the only ones that laid a lap. You came flying up through the field. I saw you take the lead. Then we had that caution come out. You kind of moved a little bit further into the back of the field. Then you came back up through the field, took the lead again. You and Cody were trading crossovers back and forth, trading paint off the wall, sparks flying off there. You had it up until the last 2 laps. What happened?
You know, the track started getting real slick there the last like 15, 20 laps. And I knew if anybody was going to, come shooting by me on the bottom, it was probably going to be Cody. I knew, Dylan was back there too the whole race, and it was definitely really close between like the top 4 cars there for a while. He threw that slider on me and cleared me really good. I tried to shoot across the bottom, but the middle was just blown off by that point, and I had nothing.
Well, I mean, it was close. I really thought you were going to be able to pull it. I picked you tonight. You and Cody, I couldn't decide on because I felt like either one of you was going to be really fast, and I just couldn't choose between either one of you. After talking to you guys in the podium interviews the last couple of weeks, both of you kind of saying about dirt, and you were looking forward to this race, and not really being oval drivers or pavement drivers, but dirt drivers. So I saw you flying through practice, obviously really fast in qualifying as well. Just a little bit short tonight, but that does move you up into 5th place in points, tied with Tommy Withers, sitting 50 points exactly behind Cody Meadows. You do have that win. We're only getting maybe to halfway through the season. Next week or 2 weeks from now will be Talladega. What do you got for Talladega?
A lot of prayer and trying to stay out of everybody's way.
Yeah, that's kind of a theme, I think, with super speedways. Everybody starts out by saying, "Oh, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to try to keep clear and stay out of everybody's way." And then all of a sudden I see everybody going 3 wide. So we'll see what happens in Talladega, bud. I think, at some point here, you're going to start ticking off some wins like Cody is. You got the one already, like I said, but Cody's starting to pull away from the rest of you. What are you going to be able to do the rest of this season with about, 12 races to go before playoffs? What do you got to do to be able to catch him?
Yeah, I mean, with the way it's going right now, it seems like I just need to wait for the next road course to come along. Apparently,
You could just wreck him. I mean,
well, I'd be lying if I said the thought hadn't crossed my mind. But Cody always races me clean, so I'm gonna do the best to race him as clean as possible. I did put him in the wall a little bit, but we came out of it the other side, all right.
well, definitely a good job tonight, Pete. Any questions for second place?
Hell of a job, Joshua. I mean, all night long, keeping an eye on that 61. I saw you really early in practice. You had the fastest lap, and then qualifying, you really stood out. Of course, going through the heat race, and now tonight, I mean, it just looked like that 61 was on rails on dirt. Congratulations on another great Smeal Racing Designs podium finish. I wish you all the luck at Talladega here in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Swats, we got one more guy, and I'll tell you what, this Cody Meadows has really seemed to light it up. I'm trying to find him. He was just sitting, waiting for. Oh, he's up there already. Never mind. So Cody Meadows
Snuck in on you.
Yeah, I get you. He's got that. He's got that access, I guess. Yeah. Well, Cody, you and the 61 were the class of the field all night long. Like Swatch just told Joshua just a moment ago, only you two led all night long, and it really seemed once that high line came in, it completely fit everything that you were doing, getting into and coming off the corners. And as long as you controlled that high line, he could not pass you. How hard was it to have enough discipline to know when to get off the throttle, tap the brake a little bit to set the truck, and when to get back on the throttle, and how much wheel to put into it, not to spin it out? I mean, you look like you were on rails up there.
To be honest, I have no clue, really. I mean, practice was really interesting. Did not have the greatest times up on the board. Qualifying came around, and I am not the greatest at qualifying. The heat race was really, really interesting. And but as far as the high line goes, I am one of those people, and most dirt track drivers know this. I am a high side hero. I am not a bottom feeder. I like being up there against that wall. But I had some help figuring out when to how to crank it in there, because I'm used to the sprint cars. So keep it straight.
Okay.
Not these trucks.
Nope.
Not at all. You give it as much wheel as you can, and then crank it back to the right and hope it does what it wants to do and set. But to be honest, hitting the brakes, none. I never hit the brakes once this race. I mean, a couple times for the pace truck, but other than that, no. I mean, it was just stop and go, really.
Well, man, definitely a great race. It's going to help you. It's going to maybe give you a little less worry when we get to Talladega next week. And we've all seen that 88, be the Pied Piper at Talladega. We'll call it that. You and that Dale call number 88 that you ran tonight looked pretty sweet out there. Can you go back to back in that famed number?
Maybe. If I have Dylan behind me, or if I'm pushing him to the win, I mean, as well as Joshua. I mean, us three, we're having some really good races lately, and Dega as well as Daytona. They're mystery tracks. You cannot, and like you said earlier, talking to Josh, people say that they're going to be patient. No, that's not, no. You go into a super speedway crossing your fingers that you can at least survive the first lap, let alone however long the race actually is. But really, it's survival of the fittest when it comes to a super speedway.
Congrats again, buddy. Swatch, you got anything for our winner?
Oh, I got a few things to ask him, actually.
There you go.
I don't think we've actually mentioned this, but I'm pretty sure it has not been mentioned. But, Cody, I don't know if you're keeping track here, but Pete, Cody, that is 3 in a row for Cody Meadows in ARCS. 3 straight races of winning. Looking at the roster, the results here, he won at Bristol tonight, Martinsville last week, Chicagoland the week before that. So that's 3 straight races, 4 out of 8 winning for Cody Meadows. And all 4 are different types of tracks. Now, Cody, the question I have that's the real question is what can you do with 1.5 miles? Because the 4 in between, or the 3 in between Daytona and Circuit of Americas were all 1.5 miles, and you finished 8th or worst at all 3 1.5 miles.
Really, I'm not gonna lie. I was having bad luck. I mean, having a lot of stuff going on outside of ARCS. I mean, I'm trying to keep my head for my dirt stuff, trying to bump up that IR for the Pro Series qualifiers coming up. And it's just been a downhill spiral. I mean, I'm just now finally getting my head back in the game, starting to gain up, but
I mean, 3 straight wins. I'd say your head's definitely in the game. If your head's not in the game yet and you're pulling off 3 straight wins, I'd be afraid if I was another driver in the league.
To be then again, also to counter that, those are 3 tracks that I really like.
I mean, Daytona, Chicago, Martinsville, Bristol, all 4 different styles. The only thing you didn't do was a road course or the 1.5 miles. And like I said, it was 8th or worse in all 4 of those races. So you have now a super speedway coming again. You did win the last super speedway. Then you have another road course coming. So, I mean, what is it going to be here? The next one would be Darlington coming up for a 1.5.
Ooh. Oh boy.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you've got a tough schedule here if 1.5 miles have been a little bit of struggle. And I mean, usually, to quote a couple people from ESPN, numbers don't lie. So I'm looking at all these numbers. Like I said, you're fantastic in 4 different styles right now. But that 1.5 mile has been a little bit of an issue. So
other leagues can prove otherwise, but I've just been having some bad luck. But I mean,
well, the luck's definitely on your side of the other styles.
Mile and a half's they're an interesting place. I mean, I have there's a few that I really like, Michigan, Chicagoland, but other than that, Atlanta, I felt like I had a really good shot, but just bad luck.
Well, I mean, coming back, you got, like I said, the races they're going to lay out is Talladega, Darlington, Lime Rock, Nashville Super Speedway is going to be the all-star race, so a throwaway race for the points. Then you go back to Charlotte, then you got Gateway, then Knoxville, then Sonoma, Nashville again. It's not an easy rest of the schedule. North Wilkesboro is on the schedule, then Pocono. I mean, this is some tough stuff, but we do go back to dirt, though. Twice, actually, I believe. We're going to, is it Lucas Oil that's dirt, or is it Eldora that's only dirt?
Eldora.
So Lucas Oil, we don't touch for dirt, but Eldora's first round to the playoffs. So if you and Gaiman, who were very, very fast tonight, with Dylan McDonald as well, and even Cody Harger were right there. So going back to another dirt race, Pete, I'm kind of anticipating the first round of the playoffs with these guys being this fast.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of great racing coming up that I absolutely can't wait for. Cody, congratulations one more time on, and yeah, it didn't catch me. I do so many races during the week. They're all kind of starting to bleed in together. That's why I got my stats man here, and Swatch just does one hell of a job. So thank you very much, Swatch, for pointing out how stupid I am.
It's not you. Nobody had mentioned it. I mean, nobody mentioned it last week when he won 2 in a row. So, I mean, I didn't mention it either, but I was looking back through the results, and I'm like, Cody Meadows first, Cody Meadows first, Cody Meadows first. I'm like, geez, how many go in a row? So,
man, great points overall for Cody Meadows. Great top 3 for Smeal Racing Designs podium again. Dylan McDonald finishing P3, up 2 spots in his number 38 Silverado. The 61 Joshua Gaiman, very, very strong all night long, up 6 spots to finish second. But Cody Meadows, that 88 Silverado looked amazing. Guys and gals, we got to give a big thank you one more time to Midwest Barbecue. Go on over. There's the link out there in chat. If you need premium barbecue meat smoking equipment, go on over, take a look around, send them a message. I tell you what, take a look at their website, and the type of products that they put out there is absolutely phenomenal. Read the story about the company and everything else. And then, of course, we can't forget about Chicks and Honey over on Instagram. Go on over, look them up. Chicks is CHIX and the N sign Honey. They are an Instagram page all about teaching people how to create a self-sufficient homestead. We're teaching others how to turn raw land into self-sufficient property. Everything from solar, self-building your house, creating a garden, and raising your own animals to provide meat, dairy, and goods for your family. Again, go on over on Instagram, Chicks, CHIX, and Honey. Look them up, give them a follow, and enjoy all kinds of great information. My wife has already had me build planters for the back left side of our property, and so far so good. So definitely worthwhile information. I can't wait. Swats, we got next week off here for ARCS, but we're busy throughout. Then in 2 weeks we will see them at Talladega. I know on Monday nights you got HTL. You want to touch on that for a second before we go?
Yeah, HTL, Dylan Mcdonald, who finished third tonight, does run in that league, and he's got a win over there. So they're heading to Las Vegas this week. 116 laps over there, presented by EPI. Elite Performance will be back on as a sponsor. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what happens in that one, especially after last week's race at the Rockingham that was a little bit of a caution fest. So these guys are going to be straightening up, and I know the admins and everybody has been getting on everybody all week, so I'm definitely looking forward to it, and hope people will come out and watch. I know you and I both are streaming at the same time, so you know, if you're into two different streams or anything, go ahead and flip over and watch me. Smash that small follow button if you can, and appreciate everybody who does tune in.
Yeah, that's going to be at twitch.tv /KS Gaming 51. And yeah, like you just said, we kind of go head to head on Twitch right about 8:30. I'll be going live with the Shake and Bake Cup Series live from Richmond. So we're going to a 3/4 mile oval in Richmond, Virginia. Definitely can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But this, tonight we're all about the ARCS on dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway, Thunder Valley, the last great Coliseum. Kurt, this has been Bristol, baby. Thank you very much for coming out. I definitely appreciate you as always. And guys, gals out there in chat, we appreciate you as well for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, keeping us company. It wouldn't be the same without you. Thank you one more time. We'll see you again soon. Later, guys.